Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video we have some massive Nintendo Switch 2 updates, as well as some rumors and leaks, and also I think I have some information that may be pointing to a huge Nintendo Direct happening in August, or at least soon. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. Yeah man, what the hell is going on? That's the question that I have. Every single time the weekend hits, it's like, is it going to be a chill weekend, or are we going to get news that flips over the gaming industry? More times than not, at least in 2025, it's the latter. And the reason why is, well, take your pick. So we have a pretty crazy video to get into today. Before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our amazing communities growing. And let's go ahead and get into it. So the first update is like, why? Like, what are we doing here? There had been rumors that this was going to happen, and well, it did happen. And that is the Nintendo Switch line of consoles, plus accessories, plus some more Switch 2 stuff and amiibos, all that stuff, getting price increases. We've seen this happen in Canada, I want to say a month or two ago, probably about a month ago. And then there were rumors that it was going to happen the beginning of August in America as well. And, well, it happened. And these are not small updates. So we're going to go over these prices and talk about them. But then I have a small, conspiracy that Nintendo made these prices a little higher than they were supposed to for another reason. Sorry the picture's a little blurry, but I think you understand what's going on here. Yeah, even the controllers, man, are getting price increases. I think this was $50 and this might have been $60. So it seems like about $5 across the board is what these went up. I don't own any of these controllers. I would like to get one, especially the GameCube one. I don't think that will be happening soon though. The amiibos are so damn expensive now. I think amiibos that you can buy at any time are called Legacy amiibos. I could be wrong. Those are now $20, dude. That is crazy, man. I miss when amiibos were like, they weren't niche, but they were just, I don't even know how to explain it. You could find them in like bargain bins and on clearance all the time. $20 for an amiibo, that is crazy. I have a small amiibo collection, about 4 of them. I only get the ones that I really like. I don't know the next time that I will buy one. This is the main thing I want to talk about though, is the price increase of the Nintendo Switch consoles. The OG Switch is now $340. The Switch Lite is now $230. But the Switch OLED is $400. There is not a single reason in this entire freaking world that you should buy the Nintendo Switch OLED over the Nintendo Switch 2. Because it is a $50 price difference now. And I think Nintendo did that on purpose. I don't think it was in their control to raise prices. I know it's because of tariffs. And, that's just a reality. But I don't think they had to increase it up to $400. I forgot what that's called when you price something like so high that it doesn't make sense to buy it, so people will buy the other one. So I think they probably could have raised this price to like $370 or something. But they thought, let's just raise it to $400, and then people will buy the Nintendo Switch 2. Which kind of makes sense in my opinion. The Switch 2 Pro controller is $90. I don't know how much it was originally. Maybe 85. And the stupid ass Nintendo Alarmo clock is $110. This thing is so stupid, man. If it was like $25, maybe I would have bought it, but yeah, I will never ever in my life spend this much money on this dumbass alarm clock, especially for $110 now. So yeah, that is where we were at in the gaming industry in 2025. Go back a decade and old consoles, you would be able to get them on clearance. You'd be able to get them super cheap. Why are we raising prices on consoles that came out almost a decade ago? Now, we just had a Nintendo Direct. I would give it a 4 or 5 out of 10. And the crazy thing is, I liked a lot of the games they showed off. It was cool to see Persona, it was cool to see Pac-Man, the Square Enix games at the end, a new Monster Hunter game. It was pretty decent, but still very lackluster, if that makes sense. Now, we heard a few other games were supposed to be there, and they were kind of unofficially confirmed to be there. So, where the hell were they? Well, we have an update for that, and I honestly think this is a great insight into how all of this stuff kind of works. Chris String knows of 3 games that were missing from the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. There were at least 3 games I was told 100%, and that Nintendo partner direct there clearly weren't. Just goes to show you how these things change. Twitter user said, probably need to change some sources, bruv. And Drink said, I mean, it was directly the companies themselves. I've heard, or not heard, I've read before that the companies know that they will be in a direct, but not which direct. So apparently, the reason why we've seen certain games in that direct is Nintendo had like a timeline where they had to show those games off before summer was over. So that's why we've seen those specific games. Now, if we had to guess when the next direct was going to happen, well, that would be in September. It always happens in September, I think. Don't quote me on that, actually. But also, that is Mario's 40th anniversary. So we could assume there's going to be a huge direct in September. But what if there's a direct in August as well? I kind of feel like that could happen. Or we will get a bunch of announcements at other places. I think Gamescom is happening in August, or this month now. We also have Tokyo Game Show. I don't know when that's coming up, but like, where the hell is Elden Ring? Where is the Final Fantasy VII Remake release date? Don't get me started on Metroid Prime 4, which we'll talk about here in a moment. What about Hyrule Warriors? Why keep showing this game off if there's no release date? So as of right now, the new Hyrule Warriors game does not have a release date, but Nintendo keeps showing it off, which is strange. Showing it off in the partner showcase, but no release date. It's like, what are we doing here? Well, allegedly, well, it's not even allegedly, actually. Nintendo kind of gave us a release window, but not here in America. The Nintendo Australia upload of Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment trailer from Partner Direct mentioned spring in the description. Reminder that spring in the Southern Hemisphere is September through November. Here and Australia are reversed, right? It would be spring there and winter here. And that is September through November. So if they say that it's coming this spring, that is September through November, man. That is an actual release window. So this is another reason why I could see us getting a random Nintendo Direct in August. Because say the game is coming out in September, it doesn't make sense to show off this game in a Direct in September and then be like, oh yeah, the game's also coming out this month. You want to build up the hype a little bit. You want people to know the release date. That way they can do pre-orders. Normally pre-orders are like, what, 60 days before? Yeah, I just think we get more information this month. Or, you know, to be honest, Nintendo could just be like, hey, Nintendo Today app, this is a Hyrule Warriors release date. And that honestly wouldn't surprise me. But honestly, only time will tell on that. Now, a game that Nintendo keeps showing off, which I don't understand why. Why are you showing this game off if we're never getting a damn release date? Is Metroid Prime 4. We have an update today that goes crazy in depth. This person leaked a million things about Donkey Kong Bonanza, and all of it came true. And it's like stuff you couldn't just guess, you know what I mean? It is Reese Kiwi Talks Riley. So they're not like a game leaker or content creator. They interview game studios all the time, developers, publishers, all that stuff. This is all the stuff they talked about, so you can go find it on their Twitter page if you would like to read it more. But essentially, what they are saying is that Metroid Prime 4 has hit some snags. It is not done quite yet. Yeah. They announced the game way too early and tried to compensate for this in the first version of Prime 4 by providing small nuggets of info. Because the game isn't finished, I must stress it is extremely close to being done. They don't want to show too much of it off and then it gets delayed again. So look for a Germany rating for Metroid Prime 4, because that's when you know it's done, as they test the game to 100% completion, unlike South Korea where it only needs to be 95% done. Personally, I think they're going to be coy until they can do a blowout of info with a release date attached. This is a one-off scenario with Metroid Prime 4. Nintendo is never going to announce a game this early again. Another thing he mentions in this article is Metroid Prime 4 was going to be a dual release launch game for the Nintendo Switch 2. And then it got pushed back, and then it was going to be in the launch window, but it switched places with Donkey Kong Bonanza. Allegedly, like Donkey Kong Bonanza, even though it's a super polished game, there were a couple other problems that Nintendo wanted to fix even more, but they ended up putting out the game because, I mean, you've seen the quality, it's still amazing. So this is a really strange thing, man. I know there was development hell with this game to begin with, and then it got back on track. But man, what a cursed ass game. So we'll see when this game eventually comes out, but it is very strange, especially with us seeing the billboard in the London Underground, and then There's like a collector's book as well, I think, for Metroid Prime Trilogy that's being delayed, that's supposed to come out like alongside this. Very, very strange stuff, man. But hopefully we can see this game sooner than later, and hopefully it doesn't end up getting delayed, which would not surprise me at this point. I could see this being delayed until 2026 easy. Like, it just seems like that's actually plausible now. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. It's like, where's the good news, right? Sometimes we get some good news and then it feels like things aren't back to normal, but they're okay, and we're just going to be able to chill out and play some video games and just enjoy ourselves. But then, you know, we get like 20 pieces of bad news and it's all just drastically horrible shit. And I just want to play video games and talk about them with my fellow gamers. Is that too much to ask? So yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. If you made it all the way to this part of the video, you should hit the like and subscribe button, dude. That would be pretty cool. Follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram. That would also be pretty cool. There's a Discord in the description. Follow that. We stream weekly. Come hang out. And you guys know me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.